Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Expanding Your Horizon. I'm your host, Rob Stoner, one of the owners of Horizon Managed Services. In today's episode, we're going to talk briefly about the 3CX compromise and the broader implications of what is known as a supply chain compromise and what that can mean for your small business. So, for those of you who aren't familiar, 3CX is a phone system for small and medium businesses. Uh, Clients can make phone calls via various methods through the web browser, through physical phones on your desk, and through apps for both your computers and mobile devices. What we're talking about today is what's known as a supply chain compromise, where you as the business are targeted, but you're not hacked or breached directly. Instead, the attacker goes and breaches one of your suppliers in order to get a foothold in your environment. So it's kind of like an indirect attack. 3CX, as part of their continuous improvement, they push updates out to their software periodically. And an attacker breached their development environment and inserted some malicious code, and users updated their applications. And all of a sudden, malware was installed through a trusted source, 3CX, onto the end user system. The goal of this episode is not to provide a deep technical dive on how the breach happened with 3CX, but instead to provide you, the business owner, with a few things that you can do to better ensure that you're protected and prepared for this type of a breach and ways that you can mitigate it. So, first off, first thing you can do is ensure that you're running supported versions of the software you use in your business, and that software that you're running is under active support agreements. That'll ensure that those developers are keeping the software secure, that they're patching bugs and flaws, and that you won't be under unnecessary risk from old unpatched software. Number two, have a conversation with your vendors about what their policies and procedures are regarding securing their environment, their software development life cycle, uh, your confidential data in their environment. Number three, when you install software in your environment, don't give it the keys to the kingdom. Limit its access to the environment. Don't let it be installed with full admin permissions on your system. Don't give it access to all of your data on your network shares. Restrict what it has access to try and mitigate and limit the scope of the damage should a supply chain compromise come through that piece of software. Number four, reach out to your IT provider. If that means if you've got an in-house team, talk to your IT manager. If you're working with an outsourced provider, give them a ring and find out what tools and procedures they have in place to protect and secure you. Find out whether they're just using your typical antivirus product like Symantec or AVG, or whether they're running what's called an EDR, an endpoint detection and response tool like Sentinel One or CrowdStrike, or whether you're running an EDR plus what's known as an MDR, which is managed detection and response, meaning that there's a team around the clock that when an alert pops up, you're not waiting until the next morning or after the weekend for someone to review the alert and take action upon it. And finally, don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you don't get answers that you understand, keep asking those questions until you understand and you're comfortable that you understand the risk that your business is at. Every business has different risk tolerances. Every IT provider has different approaches to mitigating risk. There's no single perfect right answer to this. It's a combination of a lot of different factors. If there's a misalignment between what your business risk appetite is and the provider's approach to mitigating risk, then you need to understand that as a business owner and work to find a way to either overcome that challenge and kind of come to common ground, or find a provider who better understands your risk tolerance and is willing to meet you there.